movers and shakers you want or ought to know. Wartime Taste Award finalists, 12-time Nappy Award losers. They are the dynamic duo of dining.
Keep streaming for more.
Mike and Stu on FM Talk 106.5.
Isn't it short? No, it's not too early for that. It'll be great.
It's Mother Toss weekend, man.
That's right.
It's
That's
a
right.
requirement.
And everything else. I've never seen so many things packed into one weekend as I've seen today. Oh, by the way, welcome to the Sip and Chew Show. Mike Stu, I'm Mike. There's Stu.
Yeah, we
Steve
packed
over
it into
there.
the weekend, didn't we?
That's it, man. But hey, this is kind of an important weekend for us. We're ending our 12th year here, and next Sunday we start our 13th year.
So it'll be our 12th anniversary.
Yeah.
And the kickoff of our 13th year.
Yes. So
Figure that out.
So,
man.
you know, a long time ago, we had our very first guest was Armando from Hacienda San Miguel.
From the
Aztecas.
empire
Yes.
of La Hacienda San Miguel, Los Rancheros, and Azteca.
Yes, indeed. And they got some Tulum and
Oh,
some
is
of
it
the other
them?
new restaurants. And,
Oh, cool.
and they do own the, this is going to be over here, one of their new concepts, Pedro's.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah, that's their nephew.
Yeah, and then,
out of Louisiana.
Wait a minute. Pedro's is part of theirs as well?
It's their nephew.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
love
their
Pedro's.
nephews are out of Louisiana.
Oh,
And
fantastic.
it is huge. It's like
Yes.
it's like 60
Their
locations.
burritos are awesome.
and what's
They
that?
really freaking are. I said freaking.
Okay. You're saying they're not upstairs anymore.
Just
No, there's the phone. Yeah.
Mike, as a lesson, if you think someone just let one slip that they shouldn't, don't stop. Ignore it.
It shocked me.
Don't draw attention to it.
I didn't say what you thought I said.
But no,
He's a
you're
professional.
absolutely right. And then they El Mas is theirs as well.
I don't know.
There's one at Calichill and Dawes Road that they're also putting one downtown on Dolphin Street that used to be Southern National.
Oh, okay.
That's
Great
gonna be-
location. Great.
I think
Glad
it's
to get you
Mas.
some.
So I'm gonna contact Armando and see if we can get him on next Sunday, since he was our very first guest 12 years ago.
Yeah.
And the very next day is Cinco de Mayo. So boom, there you go. Got all that going on.
Yeah. Where we commemorate the Battle of Puebla,
There you go. There
not Mexican Independence Day.
Yeah.
The Battle of
Hey,
Puebla.
we just want another reason to drink in this country.
And that's it. That is it. Same with St. Patrick's Day. That's the
Yeah.
only reason we celebrate is to sell beer.
Yeah. And what is Ireland?
I don't think there's a single soul when they order a margarita go, I know what the history is.
Yeah. Yeah, I ran a special burger at Lucky for the week of Cinco de Mayo and didn't call it the Cinco de Mayo burger. I called it the Battle of Puebla burger.
And nobody ordered it.
Oh, no.
Oh, didn't
no. It was a roasted tomato salsa on it, a chipotle mayo, and fried jalapenos.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Not just like a chili burger, but
No.
and chili powder and cumin on the burger. When we see
man.
it was
There
really
ain't nothing
good.
better than a chili burger in my book.
But you know, there used
We
to be,
have a destination to share with him, but finish what you were
Colonel Dixie used to be big here in
Yeah.
Mobile. They were known for their chili burger and their chili dog.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, they were famous for their
I'm
chili
okay
burger.
with chili dogs. They're okay, but I mean, a chili,
I
good
just,
chili
I
burger
just
with
want a
some
little
onions.
chili. I just want a little chili.
The destination for you is one state over. The fine folks in the Magnolia State, Mississippi, that birthed our very own Mike Bailey and then got rid of him as quickly as they could. Closest location is Leaksville.
Yes.
If you're in Citronelle, you can probably be there in about 15 or 20 minutes taking the back
In
roads.
Leaksville, yeah.
Ward's Hamburger.
Yes.
That chili burger is worth the drive with their homemade root beer right there in the fountain in a frosted glass mug. At least a couple of times a year, I will drive over to Mississippi just to go eat at Ward's.
Legendary. Yes.
Yeah. We used to have one in Old Shell. It was the Subway that's there, right?
Now it's Subway.
Yeah. And it's great. I have a great story about that one. It didn't happen to me, it happened to my best friend. And he was very basic with a burger. He wanted a piece of lettuce and mayonnaise He didn't eat anything else.
Hmm.
Well, cheese,
Well, yeah.
naturally.
Yeah.
So it was a cheeseburger, not a hamburger. He rolls through the drive-through one day after school when he was going to South. Said, I want a cheeseburger plain with lettuce and mayonnaise. All right. And he gets down the road and he's eating his fries. He takes a bite out of that burger and pickles just fall all over him. He takes a look at it and goes back through the drive-through and he hands the burger. He said, I think I got somebody else's burger. I ordered one that was plain with just lettuce and mayonnaise. And he handed it to him. Said the manager got there and everybody stared around. They looked at the bun. They came back and they said, sir, what's wrong with this burger? And he goes, I don't know. I usually just like a little meat on my pickle burger. And that's when they noticed it wasn't a hamburger patty. It was a burger with everything, extra pickles and no patty.
And
They
no
were
burger.
clearly making it for someone else.
Where's the beef?
His response was great, though, that I usually like a little more meat on my pickle burger.
There you go. There was a commercial for that. So,
That's great.
wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Chili burgers.
Yeah.
Have
Hey,
you
when
had
I
one with
played
provolone
football,
on it?
well, now,
Have you ever put provolone on a burger?
I've eaten it like that.
Oh man,
I prefer that or Swiss over cheddar cheese or American Swiss. I mean American
Mark.
cheddar.
Mark.
Essentially, if you add some pizza sauce to that and some Parmesan cheese and some onions, you get a pizza burger.
what you needed to
Yeah.
try was the Guido burger that we used to do at Lucky.
Guido burger.
Was the hamburger patty topped with a homemade marinara, fried mozzarella planks. They were flat, so
Yeah.
they covered the whole burger, 2 of them. And then instead of bacon, we would deep fry pepperoni slices,
Ooh,
put on it. Then we'd hit the top of it with a little olive oil and garlic salt and Parmesan.
man.
That burger was so good.
Yeah, it wasn't one of these little, quarter size either. is it?
No, I did a half-pound certified Angus beef on a 4-ounce sweet sourdough bun.
Oh man,
If you've been to Mug Shots, you've had the bun before. That's the Mug Shots bun.
a big one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see they're still building mug shots around town.
Yeah, they closed the ones that don't work, open
Yeah.
the ones that do. The one of the original owners is no longer in that venture,
Okay.
and it has helped them to start growing again. And I think there was some conflict between the
There always is.
investors. And there was no 5 or 6 years.
Okay.
Yeah, it was one of the first things they built back there
Right.
in that area.
Right. Right. But still operational and so
Remember, that's the one I went to, and they had like 12 customers, and I walked in, and they said it would be 35 minutes on food because apparently they only had one cook's job away to go to a parade. But there are people that do it every year that if you don't give me Mardi Gras day off, I'm just going to take it, and then you get fired.
Well,
That is,
yeah,
you need psychiatric help for
see,
that.
those people have a certain set of priorities that are different than everybody else's.
Right. It's called alcoholism.
could that be
Feed the
determined
dragon.
as a religious holiday though for them?
Yeah. Yeah.
For who? Are they
For the-
pagans?
for going to Mardi Gras?
Well, that's not.
That's Catholic.
No, that's paganism. It's
operating.
the festival of Venus.
Boy, look, there's all the phone lines lighting up now.
Well, grab the history book, y'all, because I'm about to blow your minds.
Say, speaking of marinara, you was talking about
And paganism.
that. Tomorrow is Rick Gambino's birthday.
Hey, Richie Gambino, good buddy.
Not Richie.
Richie Rick.
Rick.
Is that like
the
his dad?
father?
Oh, okay.
The father, the Don
Oh,
of the
Don.
Gambino
The
family
Gambino Don.
and Fairhope.
I should get it right then, so they don't put a hit on me.
There you go. There you
But the way Richie would put a hit on me is he knocked a garlic knot off my head.
go. But happy birthday, Rick. Another day was our buddy Tom Claxton, who was my first football coach ever
He must be 107.
and baseball coach. No, he ain't that old. 513-30106. It's the call and texting line. Let's hear from you, folks.
We're going to talk about die next.
A Grace
selection of handguns, long guns, accessories, and
So,
gear. That's what you'll find at
Does
Saber
Mel
Tooth
Kiper
Arms
Jr.
and
get
Mobile,
fired
a
at
local
ESPN
veteran-owned firearms
You
store
what?
close to
Mel
downtown
Kiper Jr.
on
get
Government
fired
Street
at
and
ESPN.
online at SaberToothArms.com. 12 months
Every
same as
single
cash.
draft
Saber
pick
Tooth
of
Arms.
that damn
Are you
draft,
watching
all
what's
he
happening in
did,
the stock
I can't
market
believe they
and are
didn't take
wondering
Shador
how do you
Sanders.
protect your wealth?
And he finally went on the
The
tirade again
national
and said,
debt is
the
out of
NFL
control.
has
The dollar is
got
weakening.
quarterback
And the markets are
evaluations
crashing.
wrong for 50
Now is the
years.
time
I
to
know
take
better than
action.
they. I mean, he was dead
Advantage
serious.
Gold,
And finally, Reese
America's
Davis said,
number one
"You need
rated
to
precious
calm
metals
down."
company
Yeah.
is here to help. We're
Wow.
offering a free
Reese
gold
Davis
guide
just
that
said,
explains
"We're done
exactly
with this.
how
For
to
3
diversify your
days,
retirement
you've been
with
sucking
physical
Shador
gold
Sanders.
and silver.
Wow.
And for a limited
What
time,
is it
you
that
could
he's got a
qualify
man
for up to
crush on?
I knew that that was
$10,000
a big,
in free gold
thing
and
going
silver
on.
when
Yeah,
you
I didn't, but I
qualify.
wasn't.
Get
Because he
Brown, I was-
hit a
1-800
Here's the
341
thing though, but
85
no NFL
84.
team wanted that
1-800
circus.
341
I'm gonna say, you know,
On a
Deion-
player that is
Don't
2
wait on the
years
system
away
to
from
break.
being ready to
Get
play.
the
in the
They
stability
learned
and
from
peace of
Deion,
mind
man.
that comes
Deion was
with
too
owning
much
physical
the show.
gold and
I
silver.
just, I never,
Call
I
1-800
would want.
Did you see the
341
video that came
8584
out?
now. That's 800
Uh,
341
Shador is
8584
at
or
a
visit us
passing
at
clinic or something,
AdvantageGold.com.
or
Performance may
combine,
vary. You should always
and
consult
he's
your financial
throwing
and tax
with
professional. Rates, policy forms, and availability
Ward.
vary
He's
by
the
state.
first
Did
overall
you know
pick,
life
kid that
insurance
was a
rates are near record
zero-star
lows?
high school
If you own
recruit
life insurance,
and
or if
won
you're
the
thinking
Heisman,
of buying
first
any,
overall
why
pick.
spend more than you
Shador
have
comes
to?
up to him while they're
Since
throwing it. Man, we should
1986,
do a song together.
AccuQuote has helped
I'm a
literally
football player.
millions of people
He
just
goes,
like
you ain't got
save
no
a
hobbies?
fortune on their life
People
insurance.
look me up
Here's how they do it.
on
They monitor
Wikipedia
your products
and
offered by
say
dozens of the
American
most
football club.
well-respected brand name life insurance companies you trust so that you get the lowest rates. For example, a healthy 40-year-old could buy $500,000 of 10-year level term for less than $20 a month. 20 and 30-year rates are also available. Don't forget to ask them about the new term life plans that guarantee your money back, even if you outlive your policy. Take 5 minutes and call AccuQuote for your free quote. Call 1-800-318-1787.
Nobody wants that. Nobody wants that.
He only went
Your
5
life
of the 32
insurance.
interviews.
Call AccuQuote today
He
at
already-
1-800
He goes, "It's the only team we're gonna
1787.
get."
That's 1-800-318-1787.
Well, this
There
is
are
an
many
NIL
adults in
thing.
Alabama
This
who
kid,
cannot take care of
this kid doesn't
themselves.
need any money
Some
at
of
all.
them need
I don't
foster
care if
homes.
he went
The
to fifth
Alabama
round.
Department of
He
Human
makes
Resources
he's
is
worth
the
more
critical
money
need
than
for
you
caring
even
men and
talking
women
about
to
the
provide
arrogance
safe
and
and supportive
the,
homes
you
for
know,
vulnerable
well,
adults.
when
you
you
build
Make
them
a
from high
difference in
school
someone's
out with
life.
that,
Be
it's
an
too
adult
early.
foster care
But
provider.
college
Because
has
funds never
that,
ages.
that's part of
For
why
more
this
information,
gate
visit
was there.
dhr.alabama.gov
You know what comes from that stuff?
/AFC. Sponsored by the
Filters out
Alabama
to
Department of
that
Human Resources, the
No one
Alabama
is going to
Broadcasters
waste any
Association,
time on
and this
I'm gonna
station.
leave you that just left Tennessee.
Over 90% of
Him and
smartphone
Johnny
users
Manziel- him
use
and
the
Johnny
Apple
Manziel.
UCLA was the
1065
only
app.
school in the
Upload
country
media.
that was
Choose a
trying to
podcast.
Malaya.
Listen live. Use your voice and speak
Him and
up.
Johnny
Talk
Manziel's gonna be
1065 app in the iTunes or Google Play app stores. For more than a decade, Sip and Chew with Mike and Stu on FM Talk 1065.
All right, we're back, and there's been a big topic on the news here in the last couple of weeks
That actually affects our show.
absolutely, and Robert F. Kennedy Jr. He is, he's our health czar. He's wanting to do things that, and I have to
That
agree with him.
actually,
On,
yeah.
I have to agree with him on a lot of things.
Some things are a little wacky,
And I didn't grow up
but
knowing anybody with autism or any of those problems. And ADHD, but we were just sometimes like
Tourette
me,
syndrome,
yeah, Tourette's.
celiac disease,
So
which
there you go.
is the actual gluten intolerance, not the, oh, I'm gluten intolerant. No, you're a hypochondriac. Or it's something else that's causing it, but celiacs.
But I fully agree with it,
Mhm.
and I support it, and especially with these dyes,
Mhm.
and I know you want to talk about that. So
Yeah.
tell us what your thoughts are, what you feel about it.
Well, as most people have ascertained, when it comes to politics, I'm not a fan.
Mm-hmm.
I go by the assumption that everyone is wrong. Prove to me you're right.
Yeah.
But when a new president comes in, no matter what party they're in, there are certain things I hope to address. And when Barack Obama came in, there was something that I thought he was going to address, and he made it a paramount part of his campaign, and that was fixing our food system.
Mm-hmm.
And he did a horrible job with it. He hired a Monsanto lobbyist to head the USDA, and it was just gone. He's not the only one I accuse of that, by the way.
No.
Every single president except Reagan has hired a Monsanto lobbyist to head up one of those two divisions. They've been involved with it, Republican or Democrat. I have issues with that. Monsanto is not a food company. They're a chemical company.
Yeah.
And lobbyists should never be given jobs. They're criminals. Just because Congress made an unconstitutional law to make bribery okay for them doesn't mean that it's still not illegal. But this is the first time that one of the major issues in our food system has been addressed, and that is these dyes. And you know why we didn't have all of these elements that we talked about, from celiacs, all of this? It's because we didn't genetically modify or tinker with the chemistry of food.
Right.
So for hundreds of thousands of years, our body got used to pure food, real food, not things made in a laboratory. I'm going to throw into that high fructose corn syrup and hydrogenated oil, which you may know as Crisco. All of these things were made in a lab to mimic food, and our body rejects them. These dyes are a big part of a lot of the mental health issues we have in this country today. So I'm going to go down real quick what we've done. He already banned red dye number 3 because it had a high risk of cancer and was proven hyperactivity in children, which we now call ADHD. It is a fluorine-based product. We don't eat fluorine, okay? So you're putting that in there. The new ones that are coming out, they're going to eliminate green number 3, which has a low risk of neurobehavior effects and carcinogenicity. I'm struggling with that, but especially bladder tumors. Okay. It's used in canned peas and sherbet, stuff like that. It is a petroleum-based product. We don't eat petroleum.
I don't.
Red number 40 can cause allergic reactions in some individuals, such as hives, eczema, and asthma. Eczema is a common problem in this country right now, and that's why. It wasn't common before we started doing this. It's used in things like Kool-Aid, Starburst, NyQuil. We don't need food coloring in NyQuil. I don't care what it looks like. Make me feel better. Let's see, yellow number 5. By the way, red number 40, also a petroleum-based product. Yellow number 5, it can damage DNA, cause inflammation, and moderate risk for children of hyperactivity, irritability, and restlessness. That's all of your behavioral issues. It is found in Mountain Dew and Twinkies, among other things, but those are examples. It is a complex mixture of chemicals derived from coal tar.
Wow.
Yellow number 6, high risk of allergic reactions, potential neurobehavioral effects in children, and contamination with carcinogenic chemicals, and may lead to urinary bladder cancer. It is used in Airheads, Jolly Ranchers, Lucky Charms. It is another complex mixture of chemicals derived from coal tar. Blue number 1 is a moderate risk of hyperactivity in children, allergic reactions, and may be associated with small cancer risk. It is a petroleum-based product. Blue number 2, increased risk of tumors, particularly, see if I can get the word right, brain gliomas. Okay, I'm not a doctor, clearly, as well as potential neurobehavioral effects in children. It is a sulfur-based product. They are revoking the authorization for citrus red number 2. Wait till you hear this beauty. It is a high-risk carcinogen causing tumors, particularly in the urinary bladder. It is already banned in California and Arizona. Here's its use. It is used to color the outside of oranges. Okay. It is a dimethylphenolazole-based product. I don't really know what that is, but I know this, that dimethylphenolazole is not something that human beings are accustomed to consuming. It is a high risk for gastrointestinal issues and cancer, and it can also damage the liver and bile duct. It's horrible. And then they're also revoking Orange B, which does the same thing. And it's another azo product. Now, you've seen these letters in front of this all your life, F, D, and C before color. Just a lot of people need to know that stands for Federal Food, Drug, and Cosmetic Act of 1938. So if something is okay under the FD&C, that means, sure, under 1938 science, it's safe. So there is a Delaney clause that came in 1958 to that act. This clause prohibits the FDA from approving any food additive found to cause cancer in animals or humans. Yet all of these are proven to cause cancer, and all of these have been approved, even though federal law says they should have never been on the market. So this is a step in the right direction. That's all of our mental health. Every one of these, if you remember, said affects neural behavior.
Right.
That is the chemistry in which our brain operates off of. Something else that affects that is the moon because of the gravity. Have you ever noticed, if you talk to first responders, my dad always said, it's going to be a rough night tonight. We got a full moon.
Yeah.
Well, it's because the theory is if it can affect the oceans, it can affect the chemicals in your brain. That's how precise the chemicals in our brain are, that the moon can affect your mood just from its gravitational effects.
Brandon's mom worked in medical field, ophthalmology, and when they were on call on the weekends, full moon weekend, they were busy the whole weekend.
Yeah. So if the moon can have that kind of effect, all of these chemicals that human beings are not supposed to consume, that's throwing our brain chemistry off.
Yes.
Our mental health issues start with this, and every single thing geared towards children's consumption contains one or more of these colorings.
I woke up.
Juice boxes are bad for your kid. Get an orange, make sure you clean the outside to get the orange pee off of it, and squeeze them a fresh glass of juice.
I happened to get up at 2:30 this morning, and I just looked at my phone, and I saw a video on Instagram, and this lady, and she sounded like she's British, and she was over there, and she was talking to a group of people about milk, and her son has autism, and she finally found some raw milk, and she would give him raw milk,
raw and pasteurized milk.
And she said in no time, within weeks, she noticed a significant difference in the way her son acted.
Since we started pasteurizing milk by law, there have been way more outbreaks of issues from pasteurized milk than from raw milk. Now, you can also make the argument that's because 99.9% of the milk consumed in the U.S. is pasteurized. But what the problem was prior to pasteurization was we didn't refrigerate milk.
Yeah.
Now that we know that refrigeration is a key element, and keep it refrigerated when it comes out, or seal it hermetically so that no oxygen can get to it, because it's the bacteria in the air that makes that start happening.
Yeah.
If you can seal it off from that hermetically, the milk is perfectly fine. It does not need to be pasteurized. So there are a lot of things that we did with the thought of, we have this amazing science, let's help people. And we didn't think it all the way through. We just looked at, okay, we did this got better, we're a winner. And we didn't wait to see what the effects are going to be down the road from that.
Wow.
Because that costs money.
Great information, Stu. Great information. Thank you for that. Hey, when we come back, we're going to have Danny Calametti, and we had a little fun last night. We're gonna let it
That's a hoodle doing.
Indeed, for sure.
Chicken, ice cream, fish. I like ice cream.
Knock the white cap off.
What's this? This is juice. This is juice. Uh-oh.
This WKRG News Update is brought to you by Aero Exterminators. Stop termites and pests before they attack. Schedule a free pest inspection today. Call 888-GO-AERO or visit aeroexterminators.com.
I'm less than half.
FM Talk 106.5, the Gulf Coast Weather Authority, and Dr. Bill
Eat
Williams.
up a lot of my
Gulf
battery.
Coast can expect sunny skies
show,
today for temperatures
really
in the upper
come down.
80s this afternoon.
Maybe
Tonight, mostly clear, lows in the mid
Well,
60s. And from Monday, sunny with highs in the upper 80s. This is Peter Rogers, Dr. Bill Williams, for FM Talk
I'm
106.5.
thinking about it.
FM Talk
They are
106.5,
designed be
The Gulf
replaced,
Coast
all
Weather
modern
Authority.
technology.
Dalton Orwig here with Brian Cummers from the Bison Cover Law and another edition of Law 251. You hear that buzzing? It's not bumblebees. Those are termites.
Swarming
Do you bring Danny up
and
for-
they're trying to make sure people are. Hello, Mr. Calumetti.
I am hanging on.
All right, buddy. Hang in, hang on. We'll be right with you.
All right,
And then
sounds good,
what
sir.
coverage you have? Is it a
Retreat only, where they just come out and treat your house again? Or does the company have
No,
to
it's
actually
just to
perform
do with
repairs to
phone.
your damaged home?
Really?
If something does
No.
happen to someone regarding termites
first
and
call
they
on
need to
PSR
turn to
was
someone for
in
some
the
answers, they
line.
contact you guys.
The
So you can
call,
find us at
first you wait.
TobiasCoverlaw.com. We've got some good information on kind of the process of what happens. And also,
Get
if
them
God
on,
forbid
they
you do
do
have
it.
a termite
the
issue
same
and need
thing
some
I'm doing
help, you can find us on the web or call us. Consultation's always free at 251-432-5065. That's Brian Comer, Tobias Cover Law, and Law 251. No representation is made that legal services performed are greater than the quality of legal services of others. Unburden your company time and resources by partnering with Coastal HR for your employee.
Florida
payroll
Gators
and
now at the top of
benefits.
the Auburn.
Let them do what they
You know,
do
I'm
best.
sure they
You
are.
can concentrate on what you
No
do
doubt
best.
about that.
Get back to business with Coastal
That,
HR.
that is setting up
Advertising is
to
how
be
you
the
encourage
next
people
six
to buy your
sports
products,
rivalry.
services, or ideas.
And we
Imagine
can
being
both get
handed a
on board and
microphone to
football
speak in front of a stadium
does
of
well.
30,000 people. What would you say about your
Oh, the
business?
colors are there.
FM
So I'm
Talk
good
will
with
provide
colors.
opinion.
And like I say,
This is
I mean,
Celeste
Todd
Wallace.
Golden
Together,
is
we can
pro
create an
people.
effective advertising campaign.
So,
Our listeners are
respect
eager for
them a lot.
information. Trust our
It's all
station
team.
and prefer to patronize local businesses
Play the
like
game
yours.
of their lives.
At 445-7249. And let's talk about
We
how
Auburn-
FM Talk 1065 can help
So Auburn
increase
will
your
not be
business.
repeating it.
Every Monday at 7, Jennifer
Now,
Mercer
his
presents
chance, we
Sweet
repeated
Home
first time.
Canabama.
Yeah.
Brought to you by
Bullying
Canabama in downtown
people
Mobile and sponsored by Derby Distribution. Answering your questions with accurate information and dispelling the myths of cannabis. Featuring guests from every corner of the cannabis industry.
Go-
Check
go there.
Canabama.com and email
Problems with the
comments
first
to
section. Wow.
info@canabama.com. And join Jennifer Mercer Monday at 7 for Sweet Home Canabama on FM Talk 1065. They are the dynamic duo of dining. Sip and chew with Mike and Stu. Call 343-0106. Now back to Mike and Stu.
Hell, Michael,
Yeah.
did you do anything interesting last night?
Went to a family reunion.
Oh.
Great.
Your
place.
family?
On
Or did you just invite yourself to see you went out to municipal park?
I like to crash.
Barbecue, let's go.
I like to crash family reunions, but no, I went to a place over in Atmore that the Porch Creek Indians own and Magnolia Reservations. Nice place. They designed the whole thing to work around the river system there, and man, it was just beautiful, beautiful property. But last night I got lost. I was having a flashback, and I went to Bojangles. Man, that a great club. Bojangles was one of the finest clubs.
Not
in
the
Mobile.
fried chicken place.
But I got there.
Everybody from Mobile.
I'm talking about the bar, Bojangles,
And
over
it
there
was
to Zaya,
clean.
and somebody came in there and redid it.
Danny Calametti, do you have any information about that?
I do. So that's a project of the Hispanic American Business Association of the Gulf Coast. And the Continental Commissary Kitchen they did a lot of work. Dr. Leda Javier was the leader of this project. It was a project of love and a lot of sweat. But so the idea was that a lot of times when these folks, in this sense it was the Hispanic group, it was addressing an issue in the Latin community. That they'll move up from Latin America, and some of them have professional degrees, nursing degrees, engineering degrees that don't translate into a job opportunity over here right away. So what they end up doing is they do what they did in their home country. They cook. And so oftentimes they cook, and they may on occasion sell those wares not to you and I, but to people they know, and sometimes without benefit of the proper certifications and all that. So what we did a couple of years ago is we worked with Bishop State, got a grant from Mobile United, worked with Bishop State and also with Coastal to translate their culinary programs into Spanish. And we taught them not only the culinary side of it, but we also added an entrepreneurial bit of it. Here's the business licensing part of it. Here's your health department license. Here's what you have to do. And we had about 60 people that went through those classes over 2 years, but they were still cooking out of their homes. And so we worked with Marcel Ludgood from the county commission and some others to get some grant money and to convert, and they did a really nice job, convert the old Bojangles into the Continental Commissary Kitchen. It's a shared workspace for folks that are interested in trying to get started in the culinary arts. While it's targeted at underserved, it's really open to anybody. And we've got a real cross-section of folks that are involved. And so the back of the house, the kitchen part of it, has actually two basically commercial kitchens. Our members sign up and they pay for the time they need. There's a software program that controls access 24/7. So if they need baking equipment, they've got baking equipment. If they need full board kitchen, if they just need access to food truck requirements, because all these food trucks have to have access to their commissary kitchen. So it's a membership group. We've had over 40 businesses that have been through there, but that's just a part of it, because we also sit down and Nayli Sanchez is our management person there, and she does a fabulous job with basically coaching folks who think they want to get in the culinary business. We've had, we've had talked to over 200 prospects, entrepreneurs, on the procedures and guidelines of starting a food business. And so you have folks who have an idea, but really not sure what they want to do. Some of them have decided, hey, this is what I want to do. I'm going to roll my sleeves up and get to work. And some of them have decided, you know, I'm going to put this on the back burner for a little bit and kind of think about it a little bit more. So that's an important element of what we do there.
Very.
And then last night is also an important element. The front of the house has been completely redesigned, and you guys can attest to this. It's a gorgeous facility, and it's a venue available for birthdays, for board meetings, for just, you know, for parties. And so last night was our 1-year celebration. We actually opened in February of last year, but February was right in the middle of Mardi Gras, so we decided we wouldn't compete. But we had half a dozen of our chefs, my partners that were in there, and they had a whole sampling of their different wares. And I think you guys sampled a little bit of that.
Mike saddled up to one table, put a straw in his mouth, and went to town.
We had a few things there, but it's just a great venue, and we've had like I said, we've had over 35, I think, food businesses that have been licensed with us, got their business training, got their food permits and handlers. We've had, we've actually had different food certification, customer service trainings. Some of them just for anybody in the hospitality business, but others focused on you. So there's different kind of food exposures there. We've got a great little demonstration venue where Bojangles used to serve people 3 for $1. We have it set up where it's now more of a demonstration type kitchen. So we've done different food experiences there and all that type of stuff. So it's a great venue that's serving a good purpose. We have, like I said, we've got one of the things that I was looking at and looking at our notes is that we have had, of the people that have been through there, 40% of them were also part of these home-based vendors that didn't have access to commercial kitchens. So, so it's going to be, it's been serving a great deal. And we've presently got 41, I think, vendors. We have some key people on our board. Deborah Hodges is on our board, so she's always engaged in that kind of stuff. So, but on the other hand, it is a 501c3 business. It takes us about $300,000 a year is what our budget is, and our vendors don't pay us that much. So we have to have events. We have to have fundraising opportunities, and I'll post a link where any of your listeners can look at helping us out from that standpoint.
Excellent.
And one of the things we do like is we like to encourage different organizations to have their board meetings with us. We can provide you access to our vendors if you want some Cuban food or some Puerto Rican food or some Guatemalan food or anything along those lines, or some soul food. We run the whole gamut.
Yeah.
Or you can bring in your own catering. And one of the things I like to promote about the board members is when you have a board meeting, each one of those members have their own organizations they're a part to. So it kind of gives us some additional exposure because they can go back to their organization and say, the next time we need to have a party for 100 or 150, this is a place we ought to go to. And that's part of what the funding is going to come from, is people using our venue for those type of things. So it's a nice place.
Certainly is.
Yeah, it was very impressive. You got your board, the people you got working on, they're very impressive people. I enjoyed meeting all of them and picking their brains a little bit. And just a great facility. And I will be putting a little video together about what Mike and I saw and experienced. It'll be on our Facebook page later this week. So if you're interested in what it looks like, just, make sure to subscribe to Sip and Chew on Facebook and you'll get to see the video. But Danny, it was very impressive. The bar was gorgeous.
Yeah, it really turned out nice. And, and we got the whole video set up. So we've done different food exposures. You get about 20 people sitting around there. So we've done different food. We've done Cuba. We've done Puerto Rico. We did a tequila thing. So they're just different things that you can have a nice experience around there for a special occasion, that type stuff. So it's fun.
Yeah, it was really good. Mike made a full tour of the bar. No, seriously, he got up in there and mingled more than I did. I stayed down where the food was. Mike, what did you think about the flow of the bar, the way it was?
It still had the same shape as, but they added more room between the railings and the bar itself.
Got rid of a lot of dust. Bojangles is always dusty.
David took me back way in the back to show me something that I had forgotten was there.
The safe.
The safe.
Yeah.
And that's still there. And I have gave me memories of when Brian and David, who were some of the owners of Bojangles, were there counting our money in that safe. So
we use it for storing other stuff. We don't have the money to count yet.
I have a lot of memories of that building and over my lifetime, and I'm glad to see it being used for what it is and to serve the community and to help serve people's dreams of being, in the gastronomic business.
And more importantly, the work that you're doing by letting them know what they need to do, which honestly, the city should do that. If you want our tax dollars as a business owner, help me produce those tax dollars for you. And I'm glad that y'all have stepped in and help new entrepreneurs do that, because the city still remains one that is unfriendly to small business and new businesses.
It's like they want you to open a business and do everything to put you out of business.
Right. Danny, you got better connections than I do. This should be the law. The first year any business is open, they are tax exempt. The city should be invested in making them profitable. And what ends up happening with many new businesses is every penny they make the first year goes to the city. Well, the city hasn't earned it yet.
We got taxes on everything like fountain drinks, and you got a machine, and then you got to, at the beginning and end of the year, you got to inventory everything and pay taxes on that stuff you already
illegally taxed. Yeah, right.
Unconstitutional
multiple taxation on the same property. So I want to thank you and all the people in your organization for helping these new entrepreneurs pilot that quagmire of red tape involved with starting a business.
Yeah. All right, I got one other thing I need to talk about, and we'll cover this in more detail, but that's my Best of Billy's Bacon Chef Challenge.
Yeah.
It's coming up. It's going to be the end of May, May 31st. Be at Billy's Place over at Faro from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. And here's the deal. We're looking for chefs that want to be the best. So it's a select field. We'll be posting some stuff on Billy's page and but we want chefs we got spots for 10 chefs. I got 3 already in the hopper, and I got 3 more that are interested. So we're going to be filling up those 10 spots. You win a golden ticket to compete in bacon at the World Food Championships. You get $300 back, and Billy's going to provide the product. So we're going to want to know what's the best use of bacon and how you can use Billy's bacon to to make your customers happy. So there'll be some more information posted on that, but put that in your hopper.
All right, buddy. We appreciate you so much. Thank you for calling in and giving us all that.
Thanks.
Thank you, sir. Bye.
All right. Appreciate you spending time with us. Take care.
Sir.
Make me happy. Make me feel
Now,
To report a
something happened
non-emergency
to
crime,
Schuler
call the Mobile
Sanchez
County
today
Sheriff's
that I
Office
didn't
at
put before.
574-8633
He got a
or
call
use the
from
online
the
crime
third,
tip form at
second or third
mobileso.com/crime
round,
tips.
they
If you'd like to remain
taken
anonymous,
the
please
draft
provide
and
as
all
much
that.
information as
And
possible.
halfway
For
through,
this and other
they
safety
yelled
tips,
psych
visit
and hung up on us.
mobileso.com.
You
There
owe
was two
over
frat boys
$10,000
from
in
OJ.
back taxes.
saw that,
You've
yeah.
called
Now
every
the
tax firm
NFL
out
put
there. They
security
all
on
say the
there
same
investigating.
thing,
And I
making
just said,
promises they never
that's the way
keep, and you're
Kevin
sick of it. What
They're
you really
indicating
need
they
is
had
a
been put
new
on
start
this. I said,
on your
exact
back
last year he was
taxes.
this.
If you're faced with garnishments, levies,
Yeah.
audits, or years of unfiled tax returns, we'll
I'm not a
fight
fan of
to
that
get
man.
you the
Oh.
new start
I mean,
you
he
deserve.
gets
Call
results. but I'm definitely not a fan of
1-800-266-1432.
Kevin. I'm not.
Our New
Hey, man,
Start
There
program
were
will
rumors
stop
he's
collection
going-
If you
efforts,
wanna have
remove
10
any
wins a
liens
year
the
and
IRS has
mid-major,
in place, and help you
program,
reduce
he's a
your
good
back
coach,
taxes
or
by
if
as
you're
much
happy
as
with 8 wins a
80%.
year at a
That's
major
right,
program.
80%. Don't wait until another tax season ends and another year of penalties and interest are added to your balance.
No,
If you
no,
owe
no.
at
I'm
least
glad Stu Billy
$10,000 to
turned
the
it around. I wanted
IRS and
Billy
need
to
a
all.
new start on
You
your
see
back
where,
taxes, call 1-800-266-1432. That's 1-800-266-1432. Let the professionals at Coast One Financial Group fight to get you the new start you deserve. Again, that's 1-800-266-1432. You know you want one, a new e-bike. So come see me.
We had
Adventure
tight ends in the
Bicycles
sport
for
right before it closed Friday
two-wheel
night.
freedom machine. Adventure
Projected to be our
Bicycles in
starting
Midtown at the
pass
corner of
catching tight
Airport
end.
Yeah.
And all
Adventure
the
Bicycles,
loads, the guys
everything
on the
inside
yard.
to get you outside.
Really didn't do anything last year.
365, 24/7. You'll find road and
you know,
utility crews,
but
tow
they
truck,
said he
law
had a good
enforcement, and
spring,
first responders
all that,
working
but-
along Alabama's
but-
roadway.
We're making
He
improvements
went into
and
the
helping our
portal, but he
communities
lost
stay
contact.
connected.
We're working hard to make sure
We
you're
know-
safe on the road. Now we
we
need
know
your
for
help
a
to make
fact,
sure we're safe
Liberty
too. Alabama's
sounds good.
move over law
Call
requires
him
you
and
to
talk him
move
into
over a lane when you see flashing lights on the roadside. And if you
It
can't
is
safely
okay
move over, please
for a
slow
student
down.
athlete to contact any coaching staff in the country and go, I'm thinking about
Transportation,
getting
Alabama
this right.
Broadcasters
It's the other way
Association,
around.
and
Yeah,
this
but
station.
the school
Hello again,
cannot
friends.
make
I'm
such
Randy
contact.
Burkett,
That
inviting you to
can't.
join me, Country
Oh,
Cleveland,
Kurt
and Coach
Saban
Mark
admitted to
Lassiter
to
for the
tampering
Thompson
again
Tractor
this year.
Spread
That's
Sports
2
Report.
drafts in a
We'll
row.
be
He
coming to
admitted
you
to take
live
out
from the
Tampa
Eastern
before
Shore
Alabama.
Toyota Hyundai Studios for 2 hours
Last year
beginning
it was
at 8
a
a.m. every
cornerback
Saturday
from
morning. We'll
Ohio
visit
State
coaches,
to try, or
athletes,
Michigan State to
administrators,
try to
and
get
more,
the
as we'll
portal
keep you
to
up to date on all
And
things
then
prep
this year,
along the Gulf
it-
Coast
it's
and
an
the state of
offensive tackle.
Alabama. Wake up
That's
with the Prep Sports
West
Report
Virginia,
team
I think,
this
he said we
Saturday
tried
morning
hard
starting